listening to The Motherhood Experience, a podcast where you are part of the conversation with moms, for moms, and by moms. Let's jump into this episode with me, your host, Val Kleppen. Welcome, everyone, to the Motherhood Experience podcast. I am here with my mother, and we hope that you had a very Merry Christmas yesterday. Mom, how was your Christmas?
Terrific.
Great. So we're going to talk about holiday favorites. I thought this would be a good episode for today. So I have some questions for you on like our Christmas traditions and stuff growing up. First question. First of all, say hi to everyone, Mom.
Hi, everyone.
This is my mom, everyone.
I'm Valerie's mom.
Mom, this is everyone. So first question for you is, who is your favorite child and why is it Veronica?
I do not have a favorite child. I never have had a favorite child.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay, so having Veronica and me for Christmas, we did the whole Santa Claus pictures at the mall with Santa or wherever he was. I don't know where he was. We did. I'm trying to remember, honestly. Did we bake cookies sometimes? Was it an every year thing?
As well as I can remember, probably I did the cookies though, because you know how I am.
You did the baking or the decorating or all of it? You didn't decorate the cookies.
Baking.
Yeah. Well, the rolling
and
and cutting.
And I just remember several years, at least you kids and Dad did the gingerbread houses.
Right, gingerbread houses. We did. In fact, I remember after we got the camcorder and Dad filmed the gingerbread house for a very long time. And you hear Veronica's voice in the background going, "You think you got enough of that, Dad?" Camcorders were a real trip in the 90s, weren't they?
Yes, especially with your dad.
So when you had me and Veronica and we started doing Christmas as kids, what did you kind of envision for Christmases to be like?
Well, initially starting with you, I thought you would be so excited Christmas morning when you found Santa's presents, but it didn't start out that way.
I remember being very excited. I remember waiting.
I'm talking about probably when you can't remember, when you were 2. I know we worked very hard on restoring some things from your dad's and sisters for gifts for you. And you were 2, and you just walked in and just were so quiet.
Yeah,
the little doll cradle. And
listen, mornings are hard, all right? Well, I don't remember Christmas when I was 2. I don't think. I think the earliest Christmas I remember would be at Grandma Ruth's house. Would I have been maybe 4? I remember getting was it your Mary Poppins doll in the doll case?
Well, Valerie, I had not even remembered that I did that, so I couldn't tell you when.
Welcome to This Is Your Life.
Yes, and being an older mother.
Right, but it's all right. I'll tell you all about my childhood holidays. So that would have been, I think.
No, you were older than 4 when we had. Oh, you mean not in Fillmore? You remember Chris?
No, at Grandma's house.
Grandma Ruth.
Yeah.
I remember at Christmas there as a baby.
Okay, so what about Christmas traditions that maybe you wanted to do but we didn't stick with over the years? Were there any of those?
Well, I this has come back to my mind.
Oh
You
dear.
were 4 probably. It was 1984, and yes, I think maybe we did Christmas at Grandma Ruth's because we lived in Arroyo Grande,
Hmm.
and then we went over to your Aunt Dee's house.
Okay.
And you didn't get, uh, oh, there was some Rainbow Bright. You didn't get a Rainbow Bright at Grandma Ruth's. And I tried to explain to you, dear child, that we don't always get what we want and it builds character. And we walked into Aunt Dee's and your cousin Kaylee was there and you promptly said, "See, she got a Rainbow Bright." And there you
That
have it.
my Rainbow Bright ended up with Kaylee. Now it all comes out. What about when did we start going to Great Grandma Vida's on
Oh,
Christmas Eve? Like since the
every,
beginning of time?
yeah, we didn't start. It always was that way.
Okay, so
Before your dad and I had children, every Christmas Eve was with Grandma Vida's if you could make it.
so for the listener's sake, my great grandma Vida was my dad's grandmother. And she, every Christmas Eve, apparently before my existence, which I find
Mhm.
hard to believe, would not only host Christmas Eve dinner, but make everything herself: ham, turkey, potatoes, gravy, stuffing. I mean, every piece of the Christmas feast meal she would make herself, serve it. She was never stressed in the kitchen. Like timing was never an issue. She was always happy to host everybody. And we're talking several people and more
Yes,
as the years went on.
um, up to, you say, 4, 8, 9,
17,
and then kids.
12,
Yeah, at least 12 at times,
38.
if not more.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to be Grandma Vida when I grew up.
I wish we could all be like Grandma Vida.
Yeah. It didn't happen. I didn't grow up to be like her, but I can still cook a mean Christmas dinner.
Indeed.
So let me ask you this, if you're all right answering it. If you're not, we'll just edit it out, whatever. But why is cooking not your favorite thing?
I don't know why. I don't like it. Well, it's work, I guess. And I'm pretty lazy. This is, if I'm being brutally honest, I think
There
that
you
must be the reason. Because I don't like to cook, but I do very much like to eat.
have it.
So I like other people to cook.
Well, and you come from a family of cooks.
Well, my mother was one of the best cooks ever. My oldest sister, very good cook. My the oldest brother, very good cook. And the rest can certainly hold their own. And I can hold my own. I just don't like to. I, you know, now we could get real deep here and
No, no, we can't. No, we can't.
okay. Well, I think there are reasons why I started not wanting to cook.
Yeah. Well,
But you
when you're
never went hungry. And
when
you,
you're no, I'm not saying that, but when your second favorite daughter learned to cook and then she started cooking a lot more.
my second favorite,
Yeah, me.
when she's okay.
When I started cooking, I cooked a lot growing up. Once I started cooking, once I
Well,
took that home ec class.
e- yes, even in the um, our last place in California, you were just young and you wanted to, you know,
Yeah,
put together.
I'll tell you why. Cheryl Stubblefield in seventh grade home ec.
Oh,
She lit a fire.
oh,
Cheryl, if you're out there, thank you for your culinary. example and influence in my life.
Well, when I was in junior high and took home ec, I would come home and I would like to make the things that we made at school that I learned to make. I would like to do that. But here's the thing. I used to think critically of my sister who had cooked for a husband and kids for a number of years, and then she didn't want to cook. And I thought, well, it's the least you could do. However, I learned that after you do it year after year after year, you do get a little tired of it.
Yeah.
At least I did.
Oh, I still get tired of it, but I still do it every day.
Yeah. Not
But
me.
I also still love it mostly. It's just, you know what I hate doing is lunch.
Hmm.
I will cook
Because
breakfast and I don't, it's just like the hardest meal for me to come up with.
hmm,
It's just like I made you a hot breakfast and making you a hot supper. Why do I need to make you something else in the middle of the day? And then what is it going to be? I
mhm.
just feel like lunch stuff is boring.
Oh,
Maybe that's it. But back to Christmas traditions. So on Instagram,
yes.
I polled people and I said, do you open presents on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? What do you think the most answers was?
Christmas Eve.
Incorrect.
Oh,
71% said Christmas Day.
hmm.
29% said Christmas Eve. Now, when I was growing up, Christmas Eve was like, absolutely not. We didn't touch anything till Christmas morning.
That's right. There may have been some unique years for some reason that we opened Christmas Eve. I can't remember that well. I know when I was a child, sometimes it was Christmas Eve for whatever reason. But I don't remember us. Now, when Christmas Eve at Grandma Vida's, we always opened gifts. We exchanged gifts there.
Right, right.
But with either side of the family, if we were with them on Christmas morning, that's when we did gifts. But you remember, like the last time you went to Oregon, and it was actually before Christmas, and we had the Oregon family all there. And your Aunt Dee and Aunt Joyce had come up,
Mm-hmm.
and we did exchange gifts on Christmas Eve because we were going to leave and be home by Christmas Day.
Was
So,
that was that the
we,
year when we drove through Wind River Canyon? We didn't
yes,
think, yeah. But
yes.
gosh, was that like
Thank
98?
God and Gary, we made it.
Yeah, right. Christmas memories.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag. Okay, so another question I asked them was different traditions that they have. Well, actually, let's go back to the poll though, because things have changed over the years, and now we do open things on Christmas Eve sometimes. So, what changed that for you? Because I remember staunchly it was like, if you open anything before Christmas Day, you might lose your salvation.
I don't know. You know, I was a stickler about a lot of things. That just became something I was a stickler about, I guess.
Okay. So here are some of the Instagrammers' favorite traditions that they, and let's get your hot take on these.
Okay.
Taking each kid out to shop personally for their sibling.
Did I ever do that? Do you remember me ever doing that?
No,
Yeah, I don't remember me ever doing that either.
no, but this is this person's favorite, one of their favorite
Yeah,
traditions
yeah.
that they do. I don't remember ever doing that. Do you even let's get your take on this. Do you even remember like what's the favorite gift you got me as a kid? Do you remember gifts?
That we gave you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there were a lot of things. Like, especially when you were two, that little baby cradle with, and the tricycle, I think it was. I can't remember what the other one was, but they had all been in your dad's family. Well, and then as I try to think, We didn't get you a bike for Christmas, right? We probably got that for your birthday.
No, I got a bike for Christmas.
Oh,
Veronica and I both did.
okay. Well, then that's a good one.
That's
And
I was trying to remember gifts I got, and I remember the bike.
and roller
It-
skates. That was a good one.
oh, I remember that now that you say that, but I hadn't remembered it. Like I don't even remember gifts I've gotten for my kids previously, and my
Yes,
kids are young still.
yes.
I don't remember.
Well, it gets harder and harder.
Well, and I was trying to think of gifts that I got as a kid, and I don't remember many. Do you remember? Do you remember? I don't know what it was called. A pocket rocker? Is that what it was called? It was just like a little
Pocket
tiny.
rocket.
No, 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 no. It was a
Oh,
little tiny cassette player that had a little tiny cassette, and there was one song on each side. And I
mm,
remember, I don't remember what song was on the second side, but I remember La Bamba was on
mm.
one side. And so I didn't have a Walkman, but I had this pocket, I think it was called a pocket rocker. But
I,
the cassette tape was like an inch and a half big. I mean, it was small.
yeah, I don't
In case
really
maybe you
remember
didn't
that.
get that from me.
Yeah, it could have come from someone else.
I remember the first CD I got from you at Christmas, and it was Alvin and the Chipmunks
Oh,
country songs.
how
That's
old
the
are you?
first,
'Cause we didn't have a
I don't know,
CD
10.
player for a while.
Oh,
I
it
didn't.
was when we had that really big stereo at the
Oh, oh, okay.
Bannister. Yeah. So I don't know, like 10 or 11 I probably was.
And you got the Chipmunk CD. Yay.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. And that version, the Chipmunk version of Stand By Your Man, when I heard the actual version of Stand By Your Man, I was like, this isn't right. Um, so yeah, I don't remember a lot of gifts. And I certainly don't remember like going out every year to pick out gifts for my sister. Did you wrap gifts like to us from the other sometimes?
I may have.
Yeah.
Valerie, I cannot recall.
Well, this is fun.
You know,
Um,
I've
what?
been trying to, we moved here in 2020 and
Hmm.
trying to remember each and every Christmas. This will be the fourth.
Yeah.
And so I pretty much remember 2020 and most of 21. And then last year was just awful because of the storms and because of
Right.
Asher. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
having a much better December this year.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
This person said one of their favorite traditions is a bulb for every year. I think meaning like a bulb
An
ornament,
ornament.
and says, my parents still do this and we have carried it on in our family too. So every year they get a specific bulb ornament for their family for that year.
Well, and I will say that, you know, you were our first child and you got a daughter. Well, we got a daughter ornament for the tree for a lot of years. I'm not sure when that
Mm-hmm.
stopped.
Mm,
I think you have some. I think I gave you each some, and I still have some of the daughter
I think you're
ornaments.
right. Hmm. I think I do have some. And I think I have some ornaments that you made.
Yes. There
What do
was
you
a
call that?
day.
Yeah, you
Um,
used to be crafty. But what do
I
you call that? How you made those?
I don't think it was cross stitch,
No,
and oh, and it wasn't that hook thing,
no, it wasn't a loom,
but it
but it
was
was like
yarn on the
on
plastic
the,
square
yeah,
frames.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, let's get your hot take on this one. We open one present every hour. It makes the excitement of Christmas last all day.
No, that would be terrible.
I don't think I would have the patience for it.
Well, plus, I don't like making little kids wait very long. But I will explain that when I was a kid, whether we did it Christmas Eve or Christmas morning, it was just a free for all. Everybody the presents were doled out and everybody just opened all at the same time. So you never knew what anybody got
Yeah.
or anything. Then at
The
the first
audacity.
Christmas with your dad's family, I saw that they each take turns. One person opens a gift and then the next follows and so on and so forth. And then they take another turn. And that way it lasts longer and you get to see what everybody got. And so that's why we do that.
Mm,
We still do that to this day.
yeah.
If I have anything to say about it, like if we're at your Aunt Melinda's house or something like that, then sometimes we couldn't do that. But
Okay, so let's do one more. Their favorite tradition is cooking. Nope. Cookie baking at the Tupperware store with her besties.
at the Tupperware store,
Yeah,
you bake cookies at the Tupperware store?
I guess so. I guess they have like a little, come and let's demo the Tupperware while you bake cookies with
Okay,
our
well,
product.
what I loved is when the cookie dough came out, the Pillsbury cookie dough, I think it is, and it had little Christmas designs in the center. So
In
you
the
just
middle.
sliced it and baked it. That's
You know
what I
what?
like.
Yep, I remember doing that.
That saves a
Say,
lot of
can we
mess.
make cookies? And you would say, here's a tube of dough. Cut it open, slice it up. Here's a knife. And then,
And don't make them too thick.
right, or too thin.
Yeah, there
And
you go.
then you disappeared and we decorated the cookies with our
Oh,
tears.
come on,
So,
Valerie.
do you prefer hosting or visiting for
You're
Christmas?
frozen, hun.
Oh, did I lose you?
Valerie.
Mom.
Come back to me, Valerie.
Mom.
What?
Oh, there you are. I
Yes,
lost you.
you were
For a long time, you
frozen.
froze.
You froze.
No, okay. Well, we'll go back to the tape and
Okay.
it'll show me yelling at you, I bet.
Oh,
Okay, do you prefer hosting or visiting?
we enjoy both. For the 10 of us, I I I guess I get just as much joy hosting as if we're at your house or Veronica's house. Um, and then I don't know if it's too far away as a guest, then maybe it loses something. But I always enjoy it wherever I am.
Hmm.
There hasn't been a Christmas that I didn't enjoy because I wasn't hosting, or I didn't enjoy because I was someone else's guest.
Is Christmas your favorite holiday?
Yes.
Isn't?
Yes, it is.
What is one of the favorite Christmases you can remember from Veronica and I being kids?
Well, it was really cool that that second year in Wyoming, because we had a little Christmas ourselves early amongst the family of four, because we were going to California for Christmas. And that was just really neat. We got a little Christmas at home and then we got Christmas away with the family.
Is that the same year that I wrapped the present for myself and everybody thought that everybody else had given it to me, but I wrapped it for myself and wrote on it with my left hand?
I didn't remember that you did that. You should have reminded me each year since you did that so that I wouldn't forget.
Do you remember now? Do you remember what it was?
No.
Now that I brought it up,
No.
It was a giant chocolate Garfield.
Oh.
And it was huge. And I bought it for myself and I wrapped it up and I wrote on my left hand with my left hand to Val from Santa. And you thought Veronica gifted it to me. Veronica thought it was Dad. Dad thought it was you, or you all thought it was the other person.
Well, if you wrote to Val,
I probably wrote Valerie.
Yes, I'm thinking so, because Val didn't exist when you were a kid.
Well, listen, I used to hate being called Val, but then I couldn't stop it from happening, and now I don't like it when people call me Valerie. Unless it's you or Veronica. Veronica's not allowed to say Val. She says it weird.
Well, when I was at the tea and testimony, and all of those people are going, Val, 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 it just kind of gets me. Because my daughter is Valerie.
No, only when she's in trouble. Which is never. So,
do people ask you if your name is Valerie?
they used to ask. They used to ask, but I rarely get asked that anymore. No, it is who I am. No, but any parting Christmas memories or wishes you want to share with the other moms?
Don't make yourself crazy like I did, like trying to be totally fair and balanced between you two girls. I did it every holiday. I made myself crazy. And it's a holdover now with the grandkids. You know, it nags at me. And I shouldn't let it. Yeah, just enjoy Christmas. Enjoy your kids. I know it's easy for me to say at this point in my life, retired and not having a schedule and all of that.
Yeah. Well, and if you feel yourself start getting stressed out about the holidays, we'll just replay this episode for you.
Okay. Well, here's a memory, Valerie.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you were about 4, I think. And there used to be a store called Gemco in California. They closed up a long time ago. But the Gemco store was in Santa Maria, which was about 20 miles from where we lived. So one evening I took you were about 4, because we were going to do Christmas shopping. We walked in the store and I put you in the cart and you started saying, "You're not my mom. You're not my mom." And I started freaking and saying, "Valerie, no, please stop. You're not my mom. Please stop before somebody calls the authorities." That was not my favorite memory.
Oh, it's funny. I asked you to share a favorite, and then that's the one that you. I think it is one of your favorites. What would you do today if we were out and about and I started saying, "You're not my mom"?
I'd say, "Valerie, shut up. I am your mom. You can't really deny it. Most people will tell you."
All right, Mom. This has been fun. Thanks for coming on the podcast. And I am going to speak for you and say we wish everyone a very happy New Year. This is our last podcast episode of 2023. So I'll be coming at you in the new year. So happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, babe.
And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of the Motherhood Experience podcast. To join our exclusive TME community, head on over to themotherhoodexperience.com/learn more. Be sure to follow the Motherhood Experience on Facebook and Instagram, and please leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment below, and we'll catch you next time.